Is it moving now?
It says record.
Okay. Is it moving?
I see no numbers.
Okay, it's recording though. Okay.
It says record.
Okay. Let's leave it there. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad abduhu rasuluhu. I just want to say that I want to thank you all for coming out and being a part of this fall session of the Quranic studies. And inshallah, I want to just go over some preliminary that I want tonight to just kind of introduce it, because I think that there was some communication breakdown. I did tell everybody that October 2nd we will start back up. And Brother Omar sent out the email, but I think that the people somehow they didn't get the memo. They didn't read the email. But nevertheless, they'll be able to get this class, inshallah, starting this semester. We're going to have this uploaded onto YouTube, and we're going to have Brother Amir going to be taking pictures, and there are two libraries. One is, I have the Abdul Alim video library on YouTube, and we also have a Merciful law library where we will be streaming these classes, inshallah, and you see him moving around, taking pictures and stuff like this, and also making little short videos. And this is going to be the full lecture, inshallah. And it was open to do because what we realized, I've said this in Jummah, and I just want to repeat this. We said this, you got to understand where we're at in history. I said that in spiritual warfare, salat is your defense, but good deeds is your offense. We can't spend our time telling the press what some of the things that are going on around the world that's not us, that's not Muslim. What we have to start doing is using the same vehicle they use and putting our message in the cyberspace so people can see who we are. What you got to realize that there are people who want to hijack Islam, and we're busy defending our position in a defensive posture. When we put out what we're doing here in America, so the world can see that this is what we're all about. We here at Merciful Center for Human Excellence is about promote excellent human beings. We don't feel we gotta kill people or threaten people for them to accept Islam. We feel that Islam is clear enough in and of itself that Islam will be able to convince people, just as it convinced us, that good people, right-minded people, are willing to accept Islam as a way of life. And Islam comes, in fact, I want to say this, and you'll be hearing more, I'll be saying more of this in the coming weeks, in both class and in Jummah and other lectures I'll be giving. We believe that Islam offers to the world, and when it's properly presented, the best way for the human being to live. And what we want to do, inshallah, is show the excellence of Islamic civilization, not the barbarism that you see going on parts of the Middle East and other parts of the world where Muslims have lost their moral direction. We want to show the world that we here in America have the true light. The light of Islam is not in the East. It's not in Africa. It's not in the Middle East. The light of Islam today is in America with the African Americans. That's our position. All right? And once more of us begin to understand that, you understand why this type of sessions are so important. Because what we're doing here is bringing a new light and a new life to the very soul of Islam. This is no game. This what we're doing here today is for all the world to see that the best of Islam is what you see here in the African American community. You got to understand it. And this is not something we can hide. And we don't have the Islam in the corner. This Islam here is for everybody to see that anyone who is right-minded, who want to go before the world and claim they follow this book, the book of Allah, they're going to have to convince us that they have a better understanding of what the Qur'an says and how to apply it in the modern age. I say again, Islam, salat is just your defense. All you're doing is making prayers and quoting some hadiths, that's you being defensive. When you look at all the good deeds that Muslims are doing around the country, around the city, and every place, you know that your best offense is when we show the good work that Muslims are doing. Now, with that being said, I want to get started. Now, does everyone still have their outlines? Right now, and I hope that we're taking this seriously. That those of us who are blessed to be here in these classes, all right. So as I said before, what we're trying to do now is take Islam to the next level at the masjid. Now I want to pass out a part of this year's assignment is that as we move more and more into a deeper Islamic understanding. We want to. I want someone to come up. Shakir, help me out with this. You give everybody a copy of this. This is we want to begin. We want to begin to do this. This Islamic language. Give everybody one sheet. You hear in the media words. They're throwing around words, and we got to be able to explain to people what is Islam, what is the Muslim. What is the life that Islam offers for the human being? And therefore, what we're looking at in this session, we're going to be going deeper into the Qur'an. In order to go deep into the Qur'an, if you look at your sheet from last year, now if you don't have your sheet, then let me know, because this is, I don't want people, this is not just a rap session. Does anyone not have their a sheet?
I don't have one. I don't think I got one. The one that's the last class.
I'm saying, no, this wasn't the last class.
Okay.
This was, okay,
I have another one.
okay.
This one right here?
This one here, that outline, let me just pass this.
Section?
No, okay, let me just pass it. It is the summer session, but let me pass this around. Okay. Now, and I would suggest that you have a notebook and or some type of binder to hold this up, because you're in a class. This is a class, I mean, and what's going to happen is that it's not like some of us when we was in high school, we kind of fake until we can make it. No, you got to man up today. You got to really know this, because you deal with your very life, and then the life of society. All right. Now, the first thing is we're going to learn more of the common words we use every day. All right. I'm hoping, inshallah, by the end of this session, when I go, that you would know at least 100 words from the Qur'an. All right, that you can read in the language of the Qur'an. I put it in big bold print, as you can see. You got, like a very common expression, Assalamu alaikum. All right, how do you analyze that word? All right, Assalamu alaikum. All right, wa alaikum assalam, Muhammad, Allah. These are terms that we need to know. Everybody should have a copy of this. All right, and your responsibility between now and next week is you're going to learn the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to learn how to read those 8, and you're going to now if you haven't taken time during the break to learn at least the Arabic alphabet, I'm telling you right now you're going to get lost, because you had time during the break. I told you before the break that you need to know the Arabic alphabet. All right, and you get over a month, you learn one letter a day, you could have learned the Arabic alphabet. It's not some mystical language. I told you that before. All right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start putting together the key terms so that we can go to the Book of Allah for ourselves. We're not going to keep relying on translation. All right. But these are the first 100 words, or the first, it will be at least 100 words that I have typed out. That you'll be responsible for knowing, and if I give you a selection from the Qur'an that's in the Quranic Arabic, no translation, you'll be responsible for translating it. Being able to know the vocabulary, because you also have the Quranic Arabic dictionary. You already got that. And we can be going over some exercise to help you use it more. All right, and how to look up words, how to find the root of the words. All right. Are there any questions thus far? Any questions? So everyone has the course outline. And like I say again, we want to go over the Quranic Arabic. The last line is Quranic Arabic, an essential tool for Quranic for Quranic studies. And then we're going to flip back over and start over again with, did I give you the right one? Section number 2. And that should read, the importance of Tafsir, all right, with then put slash Tawheed, all right? If you go back to section 1, the first bullet, it says what?
The importance of commentary tafsir.
Okay, well then put slash divine unity Tawheed. All right? Because that thing on the new one, I put that on. Yes, I do have that on. Yes. I did do that on this one. All right.
Divine unity what?
Tawheed.
That's after Quran.
No, it's the importance of the divine unity and Tafsir. Tafsir is commentary. But in order to understand the Quran, you got to, if you don't have the concept of Tawheed, you can read the Quran and miss everything this is talking about. All right.
I'm not understanding where you want us to put divine unity.
Okay, it says divine unity. Okay, the importance of divine unity.
Not commentary, the importance of
Right,
divine unity.
Right. And commentary for an understanding of the Quran.
Okay, so you wanted to put it there. I thought you said
The divine unity. Well, either way, but I'm saying that a part of the first part of the lecture series tonight is going to be dealing with Tawheed.
Okay.
All right, that's the point I'm making, because I've given out the beginnings of the Quranic Arabic that you need to know as we go forward. All right, and in conjunction with that, we're going to be learning why it's important to have the proper concept of Tawheed. All right, why we need to have that in order to get the proper Tafsir. So I've elevated it. The first time we just talked about Tafsir, right? Remember last year we talked about Tafsir, how the Tafsir got to be up to date, etc. Right? Now we have concluded with Quranic Arabic. We pick this up with this right here tonight. This right here. This is Quranic Arabic and Essential. All right. Now we're coming back to now we're at the beginning of the lecture for this series and the same topics, but now we're going to elevate those topics to another degree. All right. And what I want you to add to, instead of saying just the importance of say Tafsir, we're looking at the importance of Tawheed. Because if a person don't have the proper Tawheed, they're going to see Islam as disjointed. You know, and as a reference, I want you to put down Surah Ikhlaas, the 112th Surah of the Quran. That's one that you must know. I want you to put down Ayatul Khursi, that's chapter 2, verse 55, excuse me, and Surah Hashr, the 59th Surah of the Quran, verses 22 through 24, that gives some of the divine attributes of Allah. All right? These are some of the things that we will be, what I said, Hashr, which is Surah 59.
22, 24.
Okay, 59, starting with ayat number 22, going through number 24. All right? These are the surahs, these are the ayat that we use tonight as reference. Right? Because in order for us to move forward in the world with Islamic knowledge, we must have a strong base in the divine unity. We must understand that it is man's understanding of the divine unity that has enabled us to make the great progress that we've made in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding the material world, because we see that the unity of we see the unity of Allah. We see the unity of matter, which in effect gives you a unity of knowledge in science. And lastly, we see the unity of the human family. So these are the things we want to use when we look at the importance of divine unity And so therefore, so when we derive our tafsir is going to bring all those things in. Understand? Okay, let me go over and make sure everybody understand. I'm clear on that. Where we at now, we're not just looking at what the Quran says in isolation. We want to see the tafsir as established upon divine unity. The divine unity is not only is it the unity of Allah, it is the unity of matter, which in effect is the unity of the sciences, which in effect then brings about the unity of the human family. That's how we want. So therefore, so as we derive our understanding of the Quran now, we're looking at how these things impact on everything else, because there's one consistent logic. All right, it's very important. Islam is a consistent logic. That's why I gave you. Does everybody have the 99 attributes of Allah? Does everybody have the names of the Quran?
Yes.
Does everybody have the names of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So let's for example, let's look at it. Let's look at say. Do I have any extra copies here? Then? I mean, I have any extra copies of that tonight. But does anyone have an extra copy? We can make some copies upstairs. All right. What we're going to look at then is that, okay, what is the chief attribute of Allah mentioned in the Quran? Well, what's the first attribute? What two attributes? Okay, the merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Now the question is, can we see in the material universe this attribute?
Yes.
Okay, what are some examples of mercy in Allah's creation? Yes.
The fact that we don't have to control our own heartbeat.
Ah, yes. Okay. Okay. So in the human body, a sign of Allah's mercy is what?
The fact that we don't have to control our own
We have to control our own heartbeat. And why is that a mercy? You just said it.
If you're out of sync.
You out of sync, and we don't think about it. If we had to think about making our heart beat, we'll forget.
We'll be dead.
We'll be dead. So here, that's the next example. So we're looking at the attributes now, but now we want to see the consistent moral logic of them, saying, look, how is the Lord's mercy demonstrated in the material universe? Yes, you have something?
I would say, one example is through the rain.
Okay, the rain, okay.
Because the rain causes the earth to give forth the very things that we need to eat to sustain our lives.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Okay, what else? Yes.
Our breathing.
Our breathing. Okay, explain.
Because the average person here, if you stop breathing for as much as 5 to 6 minutes, you'll be dead. You know what I'm saying? So breath is like, something that Allah gives us, and we do, and don't most of the time be conscious.
Okay, so that's a good point. So you're saying that unconscious act of the human body is a sign of Allah's mercy. All right? So that we should put that down. Any unconscious act that we do that sustain our life is a sign of Allah's mercy. All right? And we gave the example of your heartbeat, of your breathing. Now, and he also gave the example here. Now, he gave an example of any act that happens in the creation, all right, that brings about a revival of the creation, such as rain, is a sign of Allah's mercy. Now, then I want to go on use your example. Is a volcanic eruption a sign of Allah's mercy?
Yes.
Why? Okay, but what happens during a volcano?
What happens is new land masses are formed.
New land is formed, right? And the most fertile soil is what? Volcanic soil. Even though man may initially see it as being a great destruction, all right? But actually it's a sign of mercy, because coming behind that destruction is going to be what? New land, very fertile land. So my point is, now let's go back to your example of the rain. What happens if it rains and it floods? Is that a sign of Allah's mercy?
Yes.
Why?
Because it allows The washing away.
The
of
washing
impurity.
away of things that are no longer exactly. So therefore, so we begin to think about the mercy of Allah. We can now see the thing that other people may interpret as being, why God did this. There's a mercy there. We have to grow as the creature, as the servant of Allah, to see His mercy in everything. That's our challenge. We must be able to see the attributes of Allah, especially those ones that are most predominant in discussion in the Quran. Mercy is probably one of the most predominant ones. All right? We must be able to see that where throughout in our own lives, because it's signed in our own bodies, but throughout the material creation. Let's look at this. Now, we in what is called the fall of the year, or autumn. And it's usually very windy, right? And the change of season. What happens to the weak branches and stuff on the tree? They break off. All right? What is that doing?
That's giving room for new life. For new,
Giving room for new life, exactly.
It's
That's
Allah's natural way of pruning.
yeah, the natural way of pruning. The natural way of pruning is the change of seasons. That's a sign of Allah's mercy.
Brother Imam, don't leave away the beauty of it all. Because the leaf changing, here comes the earth, gives off this beautiful color.
Right?
Like, I have a garden,
Mm-hmm.
and in there we had an artichoke.
Okay.
And nobody ever picked the artichoke, so it went to seed. But it produced this beautiful, pretty purple that you've never seen. And we, everybody's taking pictures because, I was like, I wish I could get material that color. But it's just the beauty, that Allah has for us. The cheese change, leaves change.
Let's follow that up. You notice when the seasons change, you know that the leaves take on this magnificent display of color, the foliage, right? Mm-hmm. But this color change is just before what?
Winter.
Death. Just before the death, right? Winter brings the death, right?
Death, yeah.
So is that a sign of Allah's mercy?
Yes.
You think about people, and this, you can see this in our own lives. Sometimes when a person is about ready to die, they get this burst of life,
Yes.
and then they, all right, think about it. Allah's mercy. So my point is, here we have, so when we're reading the Qur'an, we have to be able to not only just read the ayah, but be able to see what it's saying in the natural world. Because that's the power of the Qur'an. All right? That's the power. And we've given some examples that then these are things that many of the scholars in religion have left. They're left seeing the connection between revelation and the creation. Now we discussed this earlier, how Allah said He worked with two hands. His two hands is the creation, and the other hand is revelation. That's how the human being is made, by being able to see God's work, not only in revealed scripture, but also in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and all that's in between. So between revelation and creation are the two hands that Allah used to create the properly balanced human mind. All right, I want to repeat it one more time. The way we are perceiving here, we are perceiving that the two hands of God are symbolically represented by revelation and creation. All right? And as an example, we look at the attribute of mercy that's seen both in revelation, and we've now been able to now look at the creation and see mercy throughout the creation. All right? And that's a large attribute. All right? And that's one of the words we want to learn. Ar-Rahman, the merciful benefactor. Let's think about that in terms of the creation. When we were born, was oxygen already here? Was breathable?
Yes.
Not only become with lungs, but lungs that would do what? Breathe air. All right? Ain't that right? Not only did we come here with a need for milk, it was already here.
That's right.
In our mothers.
Right.
Not only did we come here for a need for food, it was already here because all of the vegetables and fruits and stuff that we needed were already here.
Right.
Man did not bring any of this with him.
No.
Right? All these things existed before man even knew he had a need for them. All right? human beings came into a creation knowing nothing. But everything that we needed was already here. And all we had to do was what? Discover it. But think about it. How do we know which foods were good for us? How do we know that?
Census.
Our senses? Okay, what else?
And testing.
Huh?
Testing.
Who tested it first?
The animals.
The animals. So the animals already here. Because nobody want to test something and be a victim to it. We watch which foods the animals ate and did not die,
Right.
did not get sick.
Right.
And we were able to follow the guidance of who?
The animals.
The animals.
The cable did that.
All right? And then therefore, so as we observe them, but we use our senses to do what? To observe them.
Right.
Listen to them. Watch how, we watch them when they ate the berries. Watch them when they ate the fruit from the trees. We watched them. And we saw the thing that didn't make them sick. We followed suit.
Isn't it the same with the changing of the seasons? Certain foods you should eat during the different seasons that affect you.
That's taken to the next level.
Right.
Once we learned which food they were to eat, we also learned which foods were best for our digestive system and for our immune system in different seasons. All right? But that comes from what? Observation. So the human being had to observe the material creation so he'll know what foods to eat, when to eat them, and in what proportions. Now, a lot of this now, we have forgotten. We overeat. We eat food out of season. All right? We eat food that our bodies be calling for one thing, one type of mineral and nutrient, and we eating foods that are not giving those nutrients and minerals because they're not for that season. All right? So again, we're looking at...
Question?
Yes.
In your body, does it have a natural mechanism to be able to detect what's wrong or what's good for you and what's
Absolutely.
not?
Yes.
Absolutely. And let's take that. Remember now, the divine unity, you have divine unity of God, you have divine unity of the creation, and all the knowledge, and divine unity of the human being. In our bodies, the law says our science. All right? So if for example, you eat something not good for you, what happens? Your body always does what? You get sick. Well, sometimes it's so bad, we automatically do what? Spit it back up. Now, some things, the body being your servant, though, if you insist on doing something that's not good for you, it was, okay, well, are you the master? I try to tell you that ain't good for you. So even though your natural tendency is to reject something, that only goes so far because your body is your servant. And it would tell you, this ain't good for you.
An example of
That's
that
smoking a
is-
cigarette.
Yeah, because
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yes.
you keep introducing it, even though you rejected it initially. If you keep trying to force feed it, after a while, I guess the body stops sending the signal to you.
Well, I'm saying because the body is your servant. Your servant says, master, this is not good for you. But if the master insists on it, he mentioned like cigarette, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke.
That's right.
And then you try it again, and it says, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke. But eventually it gets lower and lower, it says, master, you want to smoke that? Smoke, smoke, smoke. Then after a while, you become what? Addicted. So that same servant that told you not to smoke, since you have insisted on smoking, it's going to help you
fulfill
your desire.
But on the other hand, you got long-term consequences that'll hurt you.
Right, but I'm saying that's absolutely true. Those long-term consequences, though, are only because you refuse to accept right guidance. And this is true of anything.
Right.
Something that gives you pleasure for the moment, or we call instant gratification, may have long-term effect, but you're not concerned about that. But the divine unity says what? Either you pay me now, or you pay me later. But you will pay me. Right? You can ignore the signs, but eventually, what happens?
You just isn't that a natural law though? But is it? There are other words for that particular law of reap what you sow. But is there?
Well, that's a divine justice. You must ultimately get whatever you did. Otherwise, the universe will be out of whack. If you got more than what you did, then I mean you took from someplace else. And one of our Lord's attributes is what? El Hakim, El Hakam. The wise are the judge, right? Another one is Adl, the one who established the just one. And you can see that in the creation. The expression, you reap what you sow. If a man don't plant crop, he can't come back next year and expect crop.
Right.
Right? Brother, you ain't planting nothing. How you gonna come back tell me, well, where's the crop at? The land is there for you to develop it. If you don't develop the land, you can't expect the land to give you something that you didn't put in. That is divine justice. That's another one of the attributes of Allah. You can see Allah's attributes such as justice throughout the creation, how it works. But also that comes down to the affairs of men. All right. Sometimes you think a person has got away with something. He said, man, that guy, man, he was a crook all his life, man. He died, he died asleep in his bed. That's why in the divine unity, you believe not in life in this life, but life in what? The next life. Right. So sometimes, according to our limited understanding of life and death and the processes, he got away with it. But we don't know what torment his soul is undergoing for him getting away with stuff in this life.
Right.
All right? Yes.
I always hear you say, man gets what he strives for.
Man gets, and let's in fact, on that point, think about this. These are laws in the Qur'an. Allah says he placed no burden upon you, and that upon which he had given you. All right, you put this down, chapter 2, verse 286. These are the laws. All right? That's what some people say, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. No, whatever you have put on you, Allah has given you the ability to handle. Now sometimes we don't accept that. We think, man, I got too much to handle, brother. No, you don't. All right? And as a cross reference, go back to what Brother Adib just mentioned. Go to Surah 53, Anab, and start with ayat number 38. All right? All right? We have down in our notes, chapter 2, verse 286, where the prayer is Allah placed not upon us the burden that we cannot bear, right? Is that what that says? All right? Who would like to read that ayat?
What, 286?
286.
On no soul does Allah place a burden greater than it can bear. It gets every good that it earns, and it suffers every ill that it earns. Pray, our Lord, condemn us not if we forget or fall into error. Our Lord, lay not on us a burden like that which thou didst lay on those before us. Our Lord, lay not on us a burden greater than we have strength to bear. Blot out our sins and grant us forgiveness. Have mercy on us. Thou art our protector. Grant us victory over the unbelievers.
Okay. Okay, now. Okay, so that starts with the prayer, and that's one of the ones we're going to learn that. Put that in your notes. We're going to be learning the vocabulary of that. Okay, now, as a cross-reference now, go to chapter 2, and chapter 53, ayat number 38. These are the laws. Actually, it starts with, 38.
Namely, that no bearer of burdens can bear the burden of another.
Okay, stop right there before you go to the first. Okay, so this is the law. So this now is, and this goes back to Allah's justice. This is the attribute of Allah is what? Just, right? Allah is just, right? This is something we feel. I mean, even little children. If you ever deal with little children, if you give one child a doll or a piece of candy, the other child want to know what?
Where's mine?
Where's mine? Why? Why do he feel he has a piece of candy? Because his soul wants justice. Nobody told him this, right? Am I right or wrong? He know that if you gave him one, then you should give me one. To be what? To be fair. In fact, sometimes children say that. That's not fair, right? Think about it. Even little babies know about divine justice. All right, so now go ahead. That no burden can bear the burden of another. What else?
That man can have nothing but what he strives for.
Okay, now ask you a question. Now, is that a fair law?
Absolutely. Is that a what?
Is that a fair law? Is that a just law?
Yes, yes.
That's a just law, right? So go back now to chapter 2, verse 286, Allah placed no burden upon you for that which you can bear. All right? Right now, and this one said that no burden bearer can bear the burden of another, that man have nothing what he strives for. Now that means that if I make an effort and I get something, is it just for you to get the same thing and you haven't made the effort?
You know.
Right? Is it? No. So you see, again, the Quran is something you got to make sure you understand. Is a consistent moral logic. It doesn't say that you're going to get something that you didn't earn. And it's saying that whatever you got to deal with, you have the capacity to do it. It's not an imbalance. You have a burden, but you don't have the wherewithal to handle it. No, God said that no bear or burden can bear the burden of another, but He also said that whatever you went after is what you got. Now you can look at that in reverse. You can't blame God and His universe that's justly balanced, that give mercy, that say that your condition, well, the reason why I'm in the state, brother, man, because I just, things just going against me, man. I don't know what's going, everything, I'm just overburdened. Is that a position that the human being can have and be justified by the words in the Quran?
No.
Why not?
Because what you said, that on no soul doth Allah place a burden greater than he can bear.
Right.
And the other one that it gets every good that it earns, and it suffers every ill that it earns.
Okay.
You gotta put in the work.
What's that?
You gotta put in the work.
You gotta
It's
put in
just
the
like
work.
to say,
If you don't put in the work, you cannot.
those who stay at home is not equals to those ones who go out to work.
See the logic of the Quran is consistent? It's consistent.
And it also says that the earth is spacious, so we have no excuse to say that where we are we couldn't do anything about it.
Exactly. You always had the capacity to move away from home. Because the law of divine justice says what? That whatever burden you have, you can handle it. If you're in an environment that you're not getting just due, you're to do what? Make migration away from the home. You can't just say, well, I'm going to suffer. You can't play the victim. Right? Allah does not support that by revelation that you allow yourself to be victimized when you have the ability to move away from being a victim. All right? It's very important. It's very important to understand this, because what happens is that this frees your mind. Go back to the basis of Tafsir. See, when you understand the divine unity, you know that you depend only on Allah. You know that it's Allah you seek for help, it's Allah you seek for mercy, because throughout the creation, you have things that go against you, yes, but these are all things that are going to test you. And you turn to Allah. All right? It's important for us to understand this. When you have the understanding of the divine unity, you don't see things happening in one part of your life as being disconnected from other parts of your life. But again, you got a person who is just trying to be slick all the time, out in the world, and they wonder why his life is not getting better. And he comes out to the masjid and he's making salat. As soon as he leaves the masjid, he got all kind of schemes and games going on. And they wonder why his thing can't never get off the ground. Man, I make salat, brother. I'm there for Fajr. But what is he doing that's negating his salat? The wicked deeds. Then he look up, he can't figure out why you can't make progress, brother. It's simple. Your life is not consistently whole. You got too much inconsistency in your life. And you find so many Muslims out of balance. All right? They think that by being slick, that they wonder why they're not getting Allah's mercy. And they come to the realization that what? Had they been consistent. All right? Think about it. The blessing does not come to one who lives a lie. In fact, in the Quranic language, that term is a hypocrite. You say out of your mouth that which is not in your actions.
Amen.
Yes.
We don't, earlier, this is around the same issue, or the same point. People use another entity to justify their not striving to get the best. They say, well, Shaitan is influencing me, or Shaitan has put up a barrier, or Shaitan has done this
but
particular
again,
thing.
what does Allah say about Shaitan? He has no power. Go to Surah 14, ayat number 22. Shaitan has no power over you.
That's right.
In fact, Shaitan will disavow all that you
And
say.
That's right, exactly.
What does it say? What does 14?
1422, Imam?
Yes, sir. What does that say?
It says,
And
Satan-
Satan, go ahead, brother.
okay, and Satan will say, when the matter is decided, it was Allah who gave you a promise of truth. I too promised, but I failed in my promise to you. I had no authority over you.
You had what?
I had no authority over you
Except.
except to call you, but you listened to me.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there. Now, here's the person saying to you that, well, brother, you know, man, I would be doing better, but that's Shaitan, man. He kept whispering to me, brother. I was trying to get off this drugs, man, but you know how Satan is, brother. I was at my house, brother. I was making salat, brother. I mean, but then the pipe started calling me back, you know, stuff for Allah, brother. I want to do better, brother, but you know, that's Satan, man. He's something, brother. You know, how Shaitan, you know, how Shaitan, my jinn, brother, you know. What does the Quran say, brother?
Had no power.
He had no power over you, except to do what?
Call you.
And then you have the power to do what?
Listen.
You listen. You can ignore the call,
Right.
but you listen. Listen, you entertain it. What'd you say? A good go with that pipe? Just a little bit? You know, stuff Allah. Yeah, stuff Allah. But let me just get, I just think I'm gonna get a little hit. I don't want a big hit, I want a little hit. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Then reproach me not.
Okay, now this word reproach, now, in your Quran, in your notebook, put down reproach and look that up, because I don't know how many people actually use reproach.
It means blame.
Blame, exactly. Blame me not. Instead of putting reproach, put blame.
Yeah, you did. You had it. I marked it out.
You marked that from before, right? Okay, because a lot of times we're talking reproach. We don't use no reproach in our language. That's just the old translation. Next to the word reproach, put the word blame. Go ahead. Blame me not.
Blame me not, but blame your own souls. I cannot listen to your cries, nor can you listen to mine. I reject your former act of associating me with Allah. For wrongdoers, there must be a grievous penalty.
Okay, now, who's saying for the wrongdoers must be a grievous penalty?
Shaitan.
Shaitan is saying that. He's doing, this is Shaitan doing dawah to the wrongdoers. He said, man, don't be crying now. Look, you listen to me. He said, but and I disavow any act of you associating me with Allah. I'm clear myself.
So that's his disclaimer.
It's a disclaimer. So you can't say, oh Allah, punish Shaitan. He made me speak with this pipe. Oh Allah, stuff Allah, I want to get off this pipe.
Wait a minute.
Right? He said, wait, time out, man. Don't blame me. You know, blame yourself.
Right. That's how he's talking.
That's what Shaitan told you now. He's not talking about reproach. This is the revelation here. But you put it in common language, Shaitan tell you, man, don't put me into that.
That's right.
And I don't have nothing to do with that, brother. I got my own deed to deal with. You got to carry your own, man.
I got my own joint.
No bearer of burden can what? Bear the burden of another. Shaitan got his own burden. Shaitan said, I got my own thing to deal with, man. Don't you put me in that. You listen on your own.
He reminds us. He said, "Listen, I called you."
Right.
Then he said, "You did not have to come."
You have to come. That's right. And he said, look, I take my own way. I call you. That's true. But you listen.
Yeah, we watch.
So don't blame me, but listen. For you listening, I'm gonna take the way for calling. I did that.
Yeah. He said, I even told God I'm going to call
That's
you.
right. And he said, I'm only fulfilling what I had already said to Allah. I will come at you from the right and left. That's right.
Yes,
From front. I already said that. That's what I did. You have the power not to listen, not to follow Shaitan. In fact, Allah says in the Quran not to follow in his footsteps. Mm-hmm. All right, think about it. It's interesting. This is what I want you to think about. We can get more into this, inshallah, in the weeks and months to come. Why does it say Shaitan's footsteps? What is that it's saying?
The way he's walking.
Where he's going to lead you.
We're leading you.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you don't even see Shaitan. You see what?
The path that
The path that he went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. You don't even see, you follow his footsteps. And you went a certain way, you say, okay, Shaitan, you see the path he went on.
And there's only one, there's only one Surat al-Mustaqim.
Right.
So if you follow another,
Yeah.
You know you're wrong.
But Imam, isn't that, because I've been reading about, I've been thinking about the story of Adam.
Yeah.
Isn't it something within us already that Shaitan, he sees, and he whispers to that desire that we have already? I mean, it's something within ourselves. It's not outside of ourselves.
No,
We rational thinkers.
It's choice. We're the only thing
we
that
are
are
given,
given choice.
we along with are given the power of making choices.
Right.
And if you don't have complete knowledge, you can make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And that's what Satan knows.
Yes.
He knows, what does it say about us in Surah Al-Fatiha? What is our weakness, but also our strength? We are what? By nature.
Servant.
But what's another word for servant?
Slaves.
Slave.
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 So we're slaves to other things. We're
Now-
slaves to our own desires?
We can be,
We can
yes.
be. If we're not slave to Allah. then
We're not
just
slave to
go
Allah,
with
we slave to Allah. In fact, I want to point out two ayahs, one to answer your question. It says, can you guide such a one who takes as his ilaha his own passion? All right? In other words, yes, we are slaves to Allah, but we can become slaves to ourselves.
Is that in Surah 35, Imam?
Sure, number 25, I think it is, ain't it?
25? Oh, 25.
Imam,
Okay.
isn't that like saying we're creatures of habit?
No, not the same. Because you can have a good habit,
Yeah,
all right? We are creatures that form habits,
right.
right? It's a little different than the creature of habit. The animal is a creature of habit.
Right.
He can, the weight of the bird build his house is the same way he built his house all the time. That's his habit. Man can change his habit.
Right.
Right.
So we can have good habits and we can have bad habits.
So he can build a different house.
Different style.
Different style, exactly.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I mean. We can
okay,
have good
so-
habits and we can have bad habits. Like it says here in the Quran, it says, say, O ye, my servants who believe, fear your Lord God. Fear your Lord. Good is the reward for those who do good. And then if we did bad, then, hey, look, the consequences are going to come on us.
As I'm saying, so that's divine justice.
However,
But look at Surah number Furqan, the 25th Surah, the 43rd ayah. It says,
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an Muhammadan Rasulullah.
once the comments conclude with the class club, I want to just tie up a few loose ends. Now, starting next week, I'll give you your reading list. Initially, you're going to read those ayahs that I mentioned. all right? Surah Ikhlaas and Ayatul Khursi and Surah Hashr 23, I mean 22 through 24.
59.
Surah 59, right, that's what we're going to deal first, make sure we all have a clear idea. Because something like that, I want to say is, I like to stress to people, understand this, we deal with a lot of people, Muslims from all different types of way of thinking, but we want to be very clear to everybody that we believe in the one Allah. We have no delusion about who Allah is. Make that very clear. Now, I think sometimes we do it interfaith, we be doing that kind of mean, but we don't get it twisted now. We are not Muslims who stand on the fringe of the Quran. We are Muslim in the heart of the Quran, right? And we insist on the unity of Allah, who has no social partners, never was born, never gave birth to anybody. Let's be clear on that. Sometimes we become so friendly with people, sometimes we compromise on what we about. We have for too long to be established in Tawheed, divine unity. We insist on that, all right? There's no conversation with us outside of that. This is our guide, the Qur'an, and it established for us without a doubt there's but one Allah. That's why we want to start this class tonight by refreshing our memory. Sometimes we get this kind of laissez-faire, we compromise. I don't know what time I know. This is the way things are going. Everybody, whether they like it or not, are going to come to divine unity. The creation got to conform to this. First thing I want to say on that. The other thing I want to make a point of is that does everyone have the reading materials that are signed? Besides the Quran, you also should have the Holy Quran Dictionary. Can you hold that up? Somebody got the Holy Quran Dictionary? Because we're going to be going deep into that, Holy Quran Dictionary. And for our reading, you should have the 2 books by Imam W. Muhammad.
Did you say one of these books you had turned back in?
Yeah, if you have a book that's falling apart, defective, let me know, because the brother is sending this one right here, this one that's green. If you got a book that's defective, I think the print, the ink, or whatever, the binding was not solid. The other piece I want to do is I want to pass out. The other thing I want to pass out is here is your some Quranic studies resources. All right, thank you. All right.
Wait a minute. When you said Surah 112, Surah 255, then you said something, but the last one you gave was 59, 22 to 24, but you said 23 something.
No. That was I was mixed up between I number 22 and 23.
Okay, so just those three.
Those 3 things, which clearly establish Tawheed and the divine attributes of Allah. All right.
Okay.
Now, brother Amir, give her 2. She'll everything she gets 2, because she can make copies, right? So that's the tip.
Yeah.
All right.
I will write on this, I'll just make copies.
Well, just give you 2, that way you have one to write. But that's one is for you, and one's for the one you can make copies with. I always make extra for you. All right. Now this is our. This gotta be important, people. As we go forward, I just want to mention this to you. There's no charge for this class, but I'm hoping this class each week will make a collection. We want to establish a Quranic studies scholarship fund to go to Mecca. We want Mecca, I'm talking about our daycare. We want to set up a fund so that a family will want to be able to sponsor at least 1 or 2 children in the daycare. All right. So each week I'm asking that we collect the money. All right, and then we'll do it tonight. We're putting you on notice. Okay. All right. If you want to do it tonight, alhamdulillah. But if you don't have any money, that's alhamdulillah too. But every week we want to collect the money. It's not going to me, but it's going to the Mecca, so we want to have the Quranic studies. We want to be known that the Quranic studies class sponsors X number of children, because that's our future. Yeah. And everything I'm doing, I'll be honest with you, I don't think any of us in this room right now are what I call childbearing age. We're no longer having families. But we got to be concerned about making sure this knowledge is getting to our children. So once a month, I meet with the staff of Mecca, and I can give them a professional development on how to teach and develop the Quranic mind in our children. And I think that we should have a point where the Mecca waiting list, should be a waiting list of children who want to attend our Mecca Mashallah early child care academy. That should be our goal. We should have the way I'm thinking about, be honest with you, there should be another goal in the master. What else do we have? We got to be fighting for our future.
Okay,
all right?
brother, we started the...
You started, okay. Well, can you collect it then?
Sure.
Or somebody collect it, put it all together, put it in an envelope or something.
Brother.
All right, so you want to collect, and once that's it, and that's the first point. I think that we have to make education. Those of us who attend these classes, we got to talk up the Qur'anic knowledge. We got so many Muslims who attend even this master field that they can get by by being ignorant. Not today. You got to know, brother. You got to know, sister. And we should make it a point. Before we come to class on Thursday, call somebody and bring somebody with you if possible. At least call and invite people. Because I'm telling you, we have entered a time where if you don't know your religion, you'll be defending the wrong, thinking you're defending Islam.
Brother.
All right? So it's very important. So these things, sister over there, got a hand. All right? So it's important, very, 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 very important that we make an appeal. Now, they do have envelopes or something. I don't want to take the money, I don't want to touch the money personally.
I think the system
I'll take it and then she can. Okay, so how much did we collect? We'll get a count.
All right.
All right, and then what we'll do each week, and I think that if we understood where we're at in history, and some of you may remember we touched on, we'll go deep into. We talked about the different Islamic movements around the earth that happened over the last 100 years or so. Believe it or not, you and I are part of the greatest Islamic revival ever happened because we now got a message we can take all over the world, even though we're sitting right here.
Brother, man, we collected $100.
Alhamdulillah, that's $100, all right? So you put that, so tomorrow,
We need to go
when you hear Juma, sister, can you turn that and tell them this is for the Quranic studies, contribution to the Mecca scholarship fund. And each week we're at least $100. We want to be able to have, and we'll let some sisters. One thing I'll tell you, we share this with. It's kind of off the subject, but it's on the subject. I know there's a number of young sisters who they went to other masajids and they got caught up in this multiple spouse syndrome. They got babies, and these brothers are nowhere to be found. Now they're finding their way here with their children. I'm glad. In fact, this past summer, most of our attendees were sisters from the Salafia community bringing their children here. All right, because they had been burnt by the reality that you got a Negro put on a garb. He's still a Negro, and he thinks with his little head, not with his big head. So he made babies that he's not going to take care of. No problem. We are going to take care of all those children.
Isn't it a shame, ma'am, that the wrapping on the package doesn't represent what's inside of the package?
Well, that's why I say for us though, we got to make knowing this religion and representing Islam in the 21st century the wrapping of the package.
Yes.
Right now, the world has the distorted image of what Islam is. We're going to make Islam in the 21st century. Quick thinking, fast moving right now to the modern times. And we got to become the daddies of all these young Muslim families that have been disconnected and been abused by people using Islam.
That's fulfillment of prophecy.
All right? And exactly. That's where we are. And inshallah, in this class, we're going to take the lead in this. All right, inshallah. We have leading knowledge. I'll tell you right now, the believers who don't attend these classes, see, they can't talk about Islam, the mercy of Allah in creation. If you go tomorrow at Jummah, have this in your conversation. You can find, man, where you get that from? I'm telling you. Because the average believers, they haven't seen the bigness of how you can take just the attribute. That's why I gave you those sheets. And see the whole creation and see the divine unity. And when you see this, you have a heart for the believers. You have a heart for the poor and for the unestablished. And we'll talk more about that, inshallah. Why it's so important for those who say they have knowledge to share mercy. Because we don't want to have this, people. You don't want to be a selfish Muslim. Right? In fact, put this down. I want everybody to read this surah. Surah 107, Ma'un. We're going to be discussing that next week. So,
Put it at the top, it doesn't agree then.
that's right, put that at the top, put that right, because what is true religion? Is taking care of the poor and the needy. That's true religion, not
Small
just,
kindness.
all right? Small kindness, Surah 107. All right?
Brother,
Yes.
when you say turn this in, she's gonna be at Juma tomorrow, so I'm gonna let her, because I'm not gonna be here till Saturday. But
Okay.
we'll turn it in as,
Are the Qur'anic studies class contributions we want to the Mecca Scholarship Fund?
okay.
Put a Mecca Scholarship Fund.
From the
So they
Quranic study.
have something already set up, or will they be setting it up?
They got something like
They
that.
should have something already set up, because I mentioned it several weeks ago when I was here. And they should have it set up. And make sure you get a receipt for the Quranic studies class. And then they can put my name on the bottom of it, so I know, but I want to see the receipt. Because sometimes money gets what I call lost in committee. You put it, wait a minute, we had this money set aside. This money is not to be put into the general masjid fund. No, this money should go to Mecca, because we want to find out how much it costs to finance one child in the Mecca, and inshallah we're going to try to raise that amount of money so we can pay for 6 months until we want a family. And then they got, and I told Michael, and then they set up a whole committee so they can screen people and begin to get these children into this program. Because what I'm working on with them, inshallah, you just got a little taste of it tonight. But I dealt with this thing with the children during the summertime, use Suratul Hashr and show the whole divine unity by the sun, and how it shines everybody, how it gives light to all the life on this planet. That's a sign of Allah's mercy. And these children, they were just sucking it up like little sponges.
Ma'am, I've been looking for, I know you told me that one of the little girls told you about the ozone layer.
Yeah,
And the different spheres of the heavens.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find it. You know, I want to know it myself.
Well,
All I know is the atmosphere.
Okay, I'm saying, go online and Google layers of the atmosphere. Layers of the atmosphere. It gives you all that. All right? So many other people, I'm telling you, I'm excited. And I said again, and inshallah, I'm going to be giving out next week. Make sure that everyone again have all their reading materials, because you'll be reading, not only be reading ayahs from the Qur'an, I'm going to have you reading, you're going to be like a bee. You know how the bee works? The bee does what? Cross-pollination. So you'll be reading the Qur'an, and you'll read the things that Imam Muhammad has said. But I'm going to give you specific readings from here, and specific readings from here. And then I'm hoping, inshallah, that each of you will have your own burst of insight. So we have these classes. It'll be very important that you participate in the preparation and in the discussion. All right? I want you all to share what Allah is showing you. All right? And I want you to share it with as many Muslim and non-Muslim, any right human being, share with them what you are learning. Very, very important. All right?
You want us to bring those to class?
Yes, in fact, yes, you should have these with you in class, because I'm referred to. In fact, just to give you a little heads up, the first reading is going to be on Adam. All right?
In the green book?
In the green book, yes.
Okay.
All right, you'll be reading on Adam, because we have a lecture entitled Adam, the Birth of the Human Intellect. All right? And this one says Adam, the first father. You're going to be reading that. In fact, if you read that for next week, that'll go right in line with what we're going to be talking about next week, inshallah. All right? All right, so are there any questions, comments, whatever? And I want to thank you all for coming, because I know that it all get people back into the mode. But we're going to try to meet around 6:30, go over all our preliminaries, make the salat, and then the class is going to run from like 7 to about 8:30. All right? But a lot of work going to be done by you at home. All right? Inshallah. Okay, so any comments, questions? Yes, ma'am.
Brother Iman, I just did a class at the conference for the sisters down in Delaware.
Yes.
On squirrels for warhead.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, me and you.
Okay,
It was just, it was on my Facebook page that I put in for the class, but I'm just saying, everything you said, I was telling from the perspective of how the sisters need to now forget about the cover we need to now know
No, I
about
really,
our
in
dealings,
fact,
the everyday
you,
dealings.
you have your speech and everything taped?
Oh, yes,
Okay, can I have a copy of it?
yes, I'll give you a copy of it from
Okay,
the,
is it audio or video?
it's audio.
Audio, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I take both, okay.
I just got the audio, they didn't have the video, but
Okay.
I'm just saying, everything,
Okay, I'll let her have that. Alhamdulillah.
yeah.
I want to say one of the sisters, if she's not known, she always shared. She always shared with the believers that Merciful Muhammad, and they are just where we are. Right? And people, we gotta have that because we're but one person. We have to trust that those of you who are hearing this, you're taking it back to your own locale and sharing it with the people. Because the people tell you they are spiritually dying. Some people are physically dying for the lack of knowledge. All right? So see, I'm looking forward to having a copy of that.
I will.
Inshallah.
Next time I see you.
So we'll be back here on Thursday. All right, so. Now, Amir, what's that? What's that?
It's just a different color.
You made copies
Yeah,
of I didn't have enough of them?
Nah.
Okay. That nice and green though, oh, okay.
Matching.
Green is my favorite color.
Matching cloth.
That's green.
Dictionary and Bible type.
Those extra there?
Yeah,
Well, I'm getting my next week.
We had that back in the 70s, right?
Yeah, because now it's not on your required reading list, but we will be doing some studies in the Bible. As we go along, we will be doing studies in the Bible. So you need to know how to read the Bible the right way, not reading it and getting hung up just like you got to read it with understanding of how the concepts of oneness pervades even the Bible, right? And how you are to take that and go talk to the non-Muslims who follow the Bible, how you can point out, the commonality of what's in the Qur'an and what's in the Bible. But then in order to do that, you need to have these two dictionaries on the bottom, right? Because we are moving out of just scripturalism. You're learning now, inshallah, the level we're moving on to now, you're learning how to read scripture the way the learned read scripture. They don't read just physical words. Tonight you touched on some things to show you that you begin to understand how the divine unity is seen in the human life, is seen in the creation. This is how scientists and scholars of religion read it. They don't read it isolated, just I'm reading the Qur'an. They take something from the Qur'an to read the creation. They take something from the Bible to read the creation. Schemes and plans of how societies work, how civilization rise and fall. And everyone agrees, all of the great scholars of religion and all the major religions know that we're in a time of great social and spiritual upheavals. We got to be able to read the signs. What you see going around the world today with this violence in the Muslim community, that shows you the birth of a new mind. So the sisters tell you that when having a baby, there's a lot of blood is shed. Right? When you're having a baby, a lot of blood is shed. So what you're seeing now is the blood of the yearning of Muslims, but the baby's not being born in the Middle East. It's born right here. Inshallah.
Allah.
All right. So let's close with dua because almost time for Shah, you made the adhan already, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I just called. Okay, well let's close out. By 8:30 we should be out here, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. Ameen. I'm hoping, inshallah, we got some good good information to put on our website. Well, we just search for the two ones. Abdul Alim Video Library or Master Allah in the video library.
Yeah, if you just go to google.com or YouTube and you just type in Abdul Alim Video Library, it'll come right up. It's a channel.
What's your name, brother? It's a channel.
Amir.
Amir?
Yeah. Amir Anwar.
In fact, this brother, you can see more of him because he's going to take some things and make, once we get all the equipment, we're going to have like a virtual tour of the masjid. Good. We're going to take our message. What we're trying to do here, this model right here, we're going to put it out in cyberspace. All right? And this is our social media expert. Right? And all we need to give is the right tools. Okay. And when we get those right tools, we're going to use what we got to get what we want.
Abdul Alim Video Library.
Yes, sir. It's right on YouTube. You can just go in the YouTube search bar or search it on Google. And if you're having any problems finding it, you can contact us on Facebook at our Master of Law page. As well, you can make a post to the page, and I'll be sure to get with you. Just make sure you address it to Brother Amir Anwar if you want me to. There's a lot of people, but it's a lot of traffic. So if you make it specific, based off of something I was at when I told you to do it, I'll take care of you. All right? F1.
I wish we had known about, because we have this program coming up here in the 10th.
Okay.
And we contracted another videographer.
Okay.
All right.
Well, take my information.
You know this is people have no idea how to
These are the questions I told him to go down and do. Who's going to wash you?
Okay, gravy too.
Who's your executive?
You mess your rights
You have a generic.
covering it.
That's
right. I'll let you see all that, please. That's always Church March is doing that. See, our sisters a lot of time. Spiritual warfare. Remember, in spiritual warfare, prayer is your best defense.
That's my first one.
Okay.
That's right. And charity and prayer.
That's right. That's right. That's for purification. That's right.
Yep.
Alhamdulillah. All right.
Alhamdulillah.
That's what I like to see.
I'll send you this.
Alhamdulillah. So we got back started, people. Y'all don't know how. I've been waiting on this one. I said, no, I promise you.
Social media at gmail.com.
Okay, great.
That brother here, man. You can see more than this.
No,
young man here.
we collaborate, but she's a different department than I am.
Okay.
She's PR committee chair. I'm with Ways and Means.
Okay, great.
Social media is its own department.
I'm with the Cultural Development Committee.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, please.
We're putting on, you know about our program.
Can I make a quick announcement?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Just have an announcement. Assalamu alaikum.
Exactly. Please. So you can put it up. It's October 10th. I'll send you a little blurb.
Everything has to go through approval, but through format.
It's already approved.
Audio, video, flyers, pictures, text to our believers.
Assalamu alaikum. Before everybody leaves, if you're not doing anything on Tuesday, I'm doing a series of Love of the Prophet at 6:30. If you're not busy here, for 4 weeks. It's a series. I'm doing 4 different parts about loving the Prophet.
Loving the Prophet. Alhamdulillah. And the sheet you have on his name,
6:30 on Tuesday.
one of his names.
I'll be here, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, I should keep helping me put this up. So we're on our way. Got my little camera there.
Want some more?
And the right, it seems like the right hand is more than the left hand. They're both doing a good thing. It would be even better if they work together.
No, we're in touch. I just each of us have our responsibilities within our respective chairs. So what I've noticed is the need for all of us to have this kind of a hub that we're sending all of the updates and everything. And that's
You know about that website? Everything that went on there, I defined, and I referred someone to the website about these information. There's a send, when you click on the link, the link goes nowhere.
Yeah, we're actually going to have a section of the website. It's still being engineered and updated.
We got back started.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
People weren't moving, but they got
It takes time when you're planting seeds, If you're planting a real garden, it's going to take you at least 8 weeks to get an onion.
8?
You want an onion. Now, if you want a mighty oak tree, that's going to take about 150 years. And this is just nature.
Well, let's just get a mighty with a small M. So
Yeah. We'll get a little bushel or something.
Yeah.
It'll grow about 90 days or so.
It's just good to know that.
This is what I do.
That people understand it works.
And I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to get people ready to go deeper. We got to we
this,
in the
these
pond line,
various
into the ocean.
communication mediums that we have.
The ocean
Marketing
don't
and
show you
PR
everything. You got to go deep.
And
Oh,
then
then